In the previous chapter, we looked at how to create multiple patterns in the channel window using the step sequencer and by playing a keyboard. One way of using patterns is to create individual sections of a larger project separately. The place where everything comes together is in the playlist window. You can open it using its button in the toolbar or with the keyboard shortcut of F5. So here you can combine and loop the patterns you've created as well as audio clips, and you can also add things like automation and combine everything together into a song or project. But before we get into the specifics, let's take a quick tour around the playlist window. I'm going to make this window a little bit bigger. Alright, so at the top of the playlist window is the toolbar. And this is where you'll find tools for editing and arranging your project. You might notice that these tools are very similar to the tools we saw in the piano roll. You can see them right here. And they are nearly identical with a few exceptions, but more on that later. Below the tools we have 3 tabs. These are the focus tabs, and you use them to determine which elements are displayed here in the main portion of the window. The default is pattern clips, which you'll see when you're adding patterns that you created in the step sequencer. Automation allows you to program or automate certain properties or behaviors of your song. For example, you can automate the volume levels of a track so it gets louder or quieter at specific points in the song. And the other tab is audio clips. This tab becomes selected when you manage your audio clips and live recordings. So again, these 3 tabs determine what you see and work with in the main section of the playlist window. So the main portion of the window is comprised of these tracks. And they're labeled track 1, track 2, track 3, and so on, all the way up to track 99. So you can have up to 99 tracks in your playlist. Each track has a mute button so you can quickly silence its contents. Now the cool thing here is the mute button works not just for sounds, but also for automation. So if you have automation data on a track and you want to hear what the playback sounds like without it, you can just click the mute button to temporarily turn it off. The mute button also acts as a solo button if you right-click it. And that mutes all the other tracks except the one you clicked. I'll right-click it again to unsolo it. Now in terms of viewing your project's pieces, you can scroll left to right. You can grab the handle at the end of the scroll bar to adjust the width of the divisions and zoom in or out of the display. And you can do the same thing vertically with this button here. Alright, so that's a rundown of the playlist window. Next we'll take a look at some ways to use it to combine our patterns into a song, or at least the start of one.